What's up, Tailgaters? You're in the booth with Tailgate Nate today. Welcome to my channel. Week 7 predictions are going to conclude today with two more group of 5 games. I told you guys it was a big week in the group of 5. We've already previewed Tulane and Memphis. I appreciate all your guys' support on that video. Hopefully this video gets some support, even though it is going up today on a Friday at the USAF, or the U.S. Air Force Academy in Colorado. It's going to be the Wyoming Cowboys going on the road to face the undefeated Air Force Falcons. Guys, this is going to be a very, very fun one from Colorado. I'm very excited to be covering this game for you guys. We're going to dive into it here in just a little bit. But before we do that, you guys know I got to thank you for the support of the channel has seen as of late. It's meant a lot to me. The biggest way you can help show support to my channel, if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button and ring a bell so you know when videos get uploaded. But there are more ways than that to help me support my channel. You're doing one right now just simply by watching the video. And if you'd like to, you can do more by liking, commenting, sharing, and really anything else you guys can think of to help interact and support the channel. Spread the word. I love college football. I love talking about it. And I love showing love to the group of 5 teams. As important as the national conversation is, guys, like I talked about in my weekly takeaway video, the group of 5 conversation is just as interesting. And this game could go a long way in deciding who gets a New Year's 6 spot from the group of 5. This should be a fun one from Colorado. Let's take a look at the stats that both of these teams have put up so far this season. We are going to start with the Wyoming Cowboys. They got a big win over the Fresno State Bulldogs last week. And it wasn't necessarily because of the offense. Now, the offense has done enough to be able to come away with some wins, right? And Wyoming has had some very, very close games this year. They've had close games against Texas Tech, App State, and then again, most recently against Fresno State, although they were pretty much in control there. Fresno State with a late comeback attempt that just didn't pan out for the Bulldogs. But Wyoming has been pretty solid here offensively. You take a look at what their quarterback, Andrew Peasley, is doing. I mean, he only has 758 yards, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 59% completion percentage on the season. But last week, I believe he completed over 65%, if not over 70% of his passes last week, and that's all they expect Andrew Peasley to be, a game manager. He does not have to be a game record. He doesn't have to post these crazy stats, especially when you consider some of the weapons they have in the running back room. I mean, Andrew Peasley himself has shown the talent with the legs, but Harrison Whaley is a very, very good running back here for the Cowboys. 7.2 yards per carry, 540 yards, does have 3 touchdowns on the season. That matches the team high with his quarterback, Andrew Peasley. And there are still some pretty solid wide receivers there on the outside, most notably in Wyatt Wayland. Apologies if I am saying that last name wrong. But when you take a look at this Wyoming team, they are led defensively. They are led by all the experience and all the talent that this defense has. And although this defense statistically has not been fantastic so far this year in really any category at all, this is a Wyoming defense that has continued to find ways to win. They've continued to find ways to generate pressure, to generate turnovers, to make opposing offenses feel uncomfortable when it matters most. And the defense has been able to do enough to come away with wins, notably in limiting opponents' opportunities to drive down the field and score. Now, they are allowing almost 375 yards per game. The rush defense has not statistically been fantastic. The pass defense has not statistically been fantastic. This is a third down defense that just statistically has not been good really at all. But again, they're generating turnovers. They are generating pressure to opposing quarterbacks. They have 14 sacks so far on the year, and they just continue to find ways to wreck the game and be able to help this Wyoming team pull out the win, and the offense has been able to do enough to be able to help this Wyoming team pull away and win some of these closer football games. Wyoming has been the beneficiary of, by my count, 3, maybe more one-score games. And, well, Air Force is not going to make it easy on this Wyoming team at all, especially when you look at this offensive attack of Air Force, known for their triple option style. This is the best rushing attack in the entire country. It went over a lot of overturn from last season. Brad Roberts gone. Hazik Daniels, that quarterback, gone. This is there are a lot of new weapons being on the forefront of this Air Force attack this year, and they haven't skipped a beat. 37 points per game, over 400 yards per game, and 330 of that is on the ground alone, as you would expect from the Air Force Falcons. They're one of the best third down offenses in the entire country. They don't turn the football over. They do not allow opposing defenses to generate pressure to their quarterback, whose name here is Zach Larriere. I apologize if I am saying that last name wrong, but this is an Air Force offense that, even though it does start with the run for them. There's a lot of great options. Emmanuel Michel, Larriere's done some nice job running the ball. John Lee Eldridge, Owen Burke, and even the Dylan Carson has been in and out there as well. All of those guys are averaging at minimum 5.5 yards per carry. Even a guy like Aiden Calvert, who only has 11 carries, is 8.1 yards per carry. Oh, and John Lee Eldridge, by the way, 9 yards per carry. It's an Air Force rushing attack that is elite. It is dynamite. And, well, as we're going to talk about here in just a little bit, even though they are known for running the ball, they only have 19 pass attempts on the year. The pass still works. 73.7% completion percentage for that quarterback in Larriere. But it's also a team that, while it is as big on the triple option, running the ball offensively, I mean, I don't have to speak much on this defense. I think the statistics speak for themselves. This is one of the best defenses in the entire country. And you take a look at a lot of the Wyoming stats here. Yeah, this is an Air Force team that has them, especially when you talk about points per game, rush yards per game, and the third down defense as well. It's an Air Force team that is elite defensively. They're very, very aggressive defensively, much like Wyoming. They also generate sacks. Now, they don't generate as many turnovers as the Wyoming Cowboys do, but they also haven't really had to. Air Force probably going to face their biggest test of the season when this Wyoming team strolls into Colorado, and it leads me into my what to watch for keys. Your keys to the game, just some things I think you should keep an eye on when you are watching this game. For starters, let's go ahead and take a look at the Wyoming Cowboys. Peasley needs to continue his good play. Again, Peasley does not have to be a game wrecker, right? He doesn't have to put up 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks with 70% completion percentage, right? Now, the 70% completion percentage, you still won. You probably still need that here in this game against the against the Air Force defense. See, I just kind of confused myself there. Andrew Peasley's got to continue to be a game manager, and honestly, to this Wyoming team, I'm not saying they can't, but it is really, really hard to run the football on this Wyoming defense because they are aggressive, they are punishing, especially up front. So it's even more important here that Andrew Peasley is on his A game, completes a fair share of his passes, and helps this Wyoming team, especially on third down, drive down the field. It's an Air Force team that's going to force a lot of third downs. You have to be able to get this ground game established, get this run defense on its heels, and that's going to open up Andrew Peasley to be able to throw the ball downfield, be able to consistently move the chains and tire out this Air Force defense. When you talk about the Wyoming defense, though, it's all about containing the Falcons' ground game. If you can stop this Falcons triple option, which is a lot easier said than done, and it says that on my slide here, right? It is so much easier said than done to be able to stop what Air Force has going on the ground. But if you can do it, Wyoming's got a pretty good shot here to win this game. Again, it's a defense that has continued to find ways to help this Wyoming team win games. The offense is going to have to do its part like it's had to do in a lot of games this year, but the defense is going to have to be really sharp, especially up front in that defensive front, and the secondary cannot let any man behind them, especially when this Air Force team tries to pass. They may only do it around 4 or 5 times here in this game, and we know this is an Air Force team that is all about the run. They are all about the triple option, and it works to perfection. But the pass game works too. You heard me read the numbers there that Zach Larriere has, right? 14 of 19, 410 yards, 21.6 yards per completion on 73.7% completion percentage for 3 touchdowns this season. And again, he's only been sacked 3 times. Now, that only been sacked 3 times, it kind of goes in hand there with this being a triple option offense. So that number is a little bit skewed. But as effective as the run game is, Wyoming cannot solely key in on that and forget about the pass defense entirely, because Air Force will pull it out from time to time, and it does work. And it does work really, really well when it gets its opportunity to. And the defense will continue to be aggressive here in this game. They're going to continue to absolutely punish their opposing line that they're going up against, right? So they're going to punish this Wyoming offensive line. They're going to make it really tough for Wyoming to run the ball, which is going to allow this Air Force secondary that has a lot of good pieces as well to be able to slow down what Andrew Peasley has cooking through the air. And the most important thing in this game is Air Force is going to control the clock. That's what Wyoming is going to look to do here in this game, but I do not think it is going to happen. I think the Air Force Falcons are going to be able to control the clock. I'll let you look at their records here. My animation went a little bit too far, too fast. I think Air Force is going to be able to control the clock here, and while I do like this Wyoming team to be able to cover the spread here, I do think that the Air Force Falcons are going to remain unbeaten. Their rushing attack is going to do too much. They're going to hit a couple nice passes in this game as well, and the Air Force defense will be too good. They'll be able to slow down whatever Wyoming has, and most importantly, they will control the clock, tiring out this Cowboy team and walking away with another huge win here in Mountain West play. That's all I got for this game. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hey, as always, remember to play hard but tailgate harder. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.